Thank you, everyone, for checking into the call room. And this is exciting because the band is slowly getting back together. We've never had all three of us in one spot. We've got two because Mitch is straight off the plane. Welcome, mate.
Thank you. It's good to be in here. Nice to be in the studio. You guys have set this up beautifully. So it's good to see your face, Richo. It's just good to be back in your company and Joey's as well. So good to be back in Australia. Miserable to be back in winter. I'm not going to lie to you. That's been an adjustment.
You're going to take a little while to get over that.
That's going to take some time.
And we zoom over to Barcelona in Spain, where the magnificently talented Morgan Mitchell joins us. And Morgan, fresh off at 2:01 last night, over 800 metres. Go, girl. Welcome.
Mate, dude, thank you. Oh, my God, how funny. But I'm now in off-season, so I'm actually a lot happier. I said to Ford, I'm like, let's just pack it up. I want to get back into winter training and actually start training for the 8. So we'll see. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So that's it. I thought you were going to have another race or two, but you said, I've done enough.
Yeah, I just think I'm tired. I've got to get back to a bit of work with F45. And we kind of just wanted to see what we could do over here. It was interesting. I was like, all right, we need to work on more speed for the 4. But now that we've run quite well in the 800, I just want to build a bit of an engine to see what we can do. And I know I've got to get home to start kind of like, I guess, putting the wheels in motion and just getting after it, really. So, yeah, it was really fun last night. Really, really good meet. So, shout out to meeting Barcelona. I will be back.
You ran superbly too, and it's all online, and we've put it on our social media as well.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Hey, the kit, tick.
Yep.
You ummed and ahed.
Happy with it? Yeah.
You're happy with it?
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. I think it definitely was my favourite one, for sure. So, yeah, I think that also was one of the reasons why I ran so fast, because you can't wear something that outrageous and not commit to the cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So a bit of pressure with that.
God, I mean,
you get it.
Yeah, and you make it look so good. And, I was just thinking I could never, if I rocked up to the track wearing that, I'd get laughed off. I'd be like, take it off.
Hey, we can get you one, Mitch.
Shock horror.
I don't know if you don't try.
If Jen wants to send me a one-piece, sure, I'll wear it. I've got to run the run melt. Don't grimace like that. Man, I've got the legs for it, I'm telling you.
Oh, there's no doubt the legs are there.
I've got the legs, just nothing else.
I don't know if we need to see that. Hey, Morgs, just while we're talking about your European trip, did you have a chat when you were with Sarah Carley? I was interested whether or not, you know that I've got this 4 hurdles thing in my mind with you. I've got
everyone. Oh, I was even talking to another athlete. Sarah's so excited. She's like, you've just got to do it. I said to her, I was like, Sarah, what you need to know about me is I am so lazy. Like, that's my issue. I did it as a kid. I loved it as a junior.
Far from lazy kid.
Did you tell her you don't want to pack up the hurdles?
Is it the hurdles
Yeah,
thing?
and I'm not going to make Fort, who's 80 years old, do anything. Like, you can't do that to that man. But I did call him.
The call room will bring Mitch.
Yeah, I'm around.
Mitch and I will.
Oh, Mitch, we're hiring.
I'm around.
And you owe me, actually. We're going to get into that. That's my did you notice.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
Oh,
that.
geez. Now I'm getting really stressed.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I did say to Ford, I was like, look, I want to run a fast 200. I think we can do something in the 8. The 4 will always be there. But if you want to do the 4 hurdles, just let me know, because we're just having fun, like taking it back to the little aths days where you just jump into every single event until something sticks. And I feel like the world's our oyster at the moment. So I'm really just not going to, commit to one event fully.
Yeah.
I feel like we have the freedom to do whatever.
And
so, yeah.
Being back on the circuit in Europe, I mean, this is a podcast between all three of us. I feel like we're interviewing you, but you're the one who's just done something amazing last night at 2:01. Considering that at your absolute peak of your powers, you were in diamond leagues and the like, how have you handled just going down a notch, with due respect, and competing in these and doing it with a big smile on your face and look like you've got the right attitude? Just educate our audience on how you do that.
Yeah, I think you've got to it made me realize that you have to appreciate, those times when you were younger making diamond leagues, which is awesome. But it made me love the sport even more, knowing I've got to start at scratch. It's like a no pressure situation for me. And I kind of realized, I don't believe in the whole age thing. Everyone wants to talk about your age and, you're getting older and you're meant to be slow. But I said to Ford, I feel good. So let's just stick in our lane. I only talk to my team about how I'm really feeling, if things are bad, good, whatever. But it's just to appreciate it because I understand that I don't have long left. And the running community is actually such a beautiful place, no matter what level you're on. We're all trying to achieve the same thing, making teams, hitting PBs. But for me, it's like, I'm not in the Melbourne winter. I can't be mad. Yeah. There's still politics. Yeah. Like, dude, I got bumped. I was actually meant to be in the A race in Freiburg, and I got bumped to the B last minute. Oh. So we're like low-key investigating that because I said to them, guys, don't waste my time dragging me to Switzerland. I'm so happy to be here, but whoever did it, I don't know who did it, but to move me to the B race, I got a call up for Nancy, the silver meet. Yeah. And I rejected that thinking, let me do the right thing and commit to this. I was pissed. That was the only time no one saw how angry I was. But then I said to Ford, I was like, let's just write this one off. Yep. We've done 552s. We know we need more speed. I want to commit to the 2, build an 8 engine, chuck in some hurdles. I don't even care anymore. It's just a numbers game for us. Our end goal's LA, so let's just have fun. I think that for me made this trip a lot easier. I think that's why we did so well because I don't know if I told you, Mitch, but I live to serve for.
You've mentioned that a few times. That has come up a few times.
We were training so well, and it just didn't show this trip in the 4. And I called him, and I was like, I could cry. I feel like I've just disappointed you. And he said, Morgan, I really don't care. He was like, you weren't even meant to be in Europe. You've done so well. You've just had kids. Chill out. And honestly, I've got to give it to people like Jen, Eloise Wellings. I finally learnt what it's like to have a weak pelvic floor. Before my race yesterday, I just have to mention this because I need to get it off my chest. I go to the bathroom, piss myself. Sorry. I messaged Abby. I was like, I don't think I can run. I could not for the life of me switch on my core. I said, girl, I'm either going to stop at 200 or literally I'm going to be peeing myself down the front straight. So for me, the number one takeaway is get some more speed and work on your Kegels. Any woman that has given birth, take it from me right now, start when you're pregnant. That's what I didn't do. And last night's race could have been a fucking horror show for everyone. Jesus Christ. Too much information. But I need my mums to know. It can happen.
Every mum listening will appreciate this. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the raw honesty that we need to hear.
So, dude, it's hard because you guys obviously haven't given birth, but
Richard and I might not have to deal with that one quite. Yeah,
we don't have to deal with it, but I'm I'm seeing it up close and personal. But wow,
it's so embarrassing.
You know what? We love that you're sharing.
Yeah.
That's
there's a good group of super mums in athletics though. You got plenty to lean on. I mean, so many athletes have come back after having kids and done crazy stuff. Yeah.
And I've got a bone to pick with them because no one told me that it can really, really happen to you. I thought that was
They didn't warn you.
Oh, mate. Sorry.
Well, that is
but that is my thing. To any mum listening.
Respect. Hey, what about you've just jumped off the plane.
Yes.
Feeling okay. Give us your highlight. What was the best part of your trip?
Ooh, best part of the trip.
Sorry, best part of your work trip.
It's a good differentiation.
Yeah.
The best part of my work trip, Paris Diamond League was amazing. I thought Pre was awesome on the weekend, but
you weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I was sort of watching from afar. But the results and I think the Aussie records going down, and just that track as well. It's one of those where, admittedly, it's in not a great part of Paris, and I'm not a huge lover of Paris as a city in general, but this part of Paris is a bit of a hole. But the track is on top, the stadium is on top of the track, so it's so loud, it's raucous. Atmosphere is amazing. I would say that was probably the highlight. Equal to that was probably I loved going to the Golden Spike. I loved watching Gouts 150. I thought Ostrava was also a bit of a hole. But those two were really, really great athletically, I would say. They were my highlights in terms of work. Personal highlights, I loved the last week I had in Portugal. That was amazing. So if anyone wants a good beach town, go to Ereciba in Portugal. Here we go.
Richo, ask Mitch what's on his leg.
Yeah, well, he had to declare it last
I
week.
had to declare. I told them.
He had to declare it on the pod
You
last
can
week.
tell us
'cause
on the podcast.
Yeah, you outed him, so
I had to air
and a
out.
shout out to Nike. She loves
shout
the
out
show.
to Nike. I hope she's listening. Yep,
She
I'll be
loves
very
it.
upset if she's not. Yeah, I'll be sending her the clip. I'll be saying everybody's aware of this tattoo now. I mean, and admittedly, I should have thought about it more because I do work with other brands through the years. So I don't know if I'm going to have to tape it up.
Yep.
Or because it sits right above my sock line. I thought maybe the sock would cover it.
That's not so smart,
It doesn't cover it, Richo.
mate.
It doesn't cover it.
I've really got to start managing
funny.
you, don't I?
Oh.
I've really got to start taking over.
Well, I got 2 more tattoos while I was in Portugal. But
Are you
Hang
joking?
on, what not Adidas?
Oh, yeah, you did.
I
yeah.
did, yeah. No, yeah. I just
Brooks,
trying to balance it
Yeah,
all
so I
up.
started messaging the brands and saying how much. The body's for sale. The body is for sale. Nah, I got 2 more, but they had nothing to do with anything else. They were just a bit of fun.
Right.
So,
But hang on.
Hang on.
Portugal, was it a solo trip? Did we go with anyone that we'd met the night before?
hang
How was
on.
it? Elaborate.
this is why I can't tell Morgan anything. There's no vault with you. This is the worst.
I just want to get paid, that's all.
This is
We're taking his money. He owes us.
look.
Ever listen to the 2 married people?
Yeah,
So excited
that's what
about you.
Morgan messaged me about this. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so nosy, but like I need to know. Like, tell me everything that's happening." Look, there was
Housewives is on pause.
4 days. Someone I'd met in Europe came to Portugal with me for 4 days, and then the last 3 days it was just me in the hostel and having a surf. So it was good fun. It was good fun.
We might just pivot ever so nice. I might save you, big boy.
Yeah.
We'll touch on it later.
We
Yeah,
will.
good. I'm so
Hey,
excited.
Morg, I'll let you go first. We always start when we're talking track and field. Who do you love? What did you see that you loved? Who do you love the most over the last week we've had?
Let me think. I actually haven't put any thought into this because I've been like, every time I've had to move, it's been at 3 a.m. in the morning. So I'd be like, Mitch, you go first. Let me have a think.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, you go
I'm
first, Mitch.
terrible.
I will happily start.
Yeah,
I think
please do.
everybody knows the direction I'm going to go with this because this
Mate,
is
give him his flowers.
this is
Oh,
our man.
yeah.
So last week I said this is the best junior athlete in the country.
Yep.
And I also said, and I should have made my words clear. I said this is the best middle distance athlete in the world. I meant male middle distance athlete currently because Audrey Barreau is clearly the best female middle distance athlete in the world. But I mean, Cam again, what a run! I mean, he's so engaging to watch run as well.
He broke Ollie Hoare's Oceania record by over a second.
Yeah, so he smoked it. Runs 3:46.06. First Australian ever to win the Prefontaine Mile as well. He joins a select group of people to ever win the Wanamaker and the Prefontaine Mile in the same year. I was looking back through. He's run 14 times this year. He's won 12 times. And this is a guy that's run across 800, 1,500 mile, 5,000 metres. You name it, he's run it, he's won it. And the way that he wins now is so engaging because, and I can't remember who was calling the race, but they were saying that they missed their like at 280 metres to go, like they've missed the chance. And you literally have to breathe on his neck to be anywhere near him at the finish line now. He's winning in so many different ways. He's given me the vibe of Matt Centrowich 2016 when he won in Rio. And he just has this ability. Like, I would hate to race against him because sometimes the athletes give off cues of maybe when they're tired or when they're going to kick, their form changes, their rhythm changes, their head moves, whatever it may be. He stays completely the same the whole way through. So he'd be a nightmare to match up against because you have no idea when he's going to strike. And he's beaten these guys every way imaginable now, our young 20-year-old. He's a star. I mean, there's no more superlatives I could give for Cam. He is every bit the star that we think he is. He's even more. Like,
we've got to get Dick Telford on our podcast moving forward. He talks a lot about mitochondrial training, which is really fascinating, double threshold and the like. He'll break it all down for us. As he said, there's no secrets I'm happy to share with anyone. So this would be a great format for the real track aficionados. We can learn so much of a guy like Dick Telford. So, and then in extension to Cam is at London Diamond League. We haven't seen Josh Kerr.
No.
So the former world champion has told London Diamond League to set up the pace for him to have a crack at the world record.
Yep.
So he must be an unbelievable Nick. Now, that could be boom or bust.
Yeah.
At the end of the London Diamond League, we might know if, by gee, this Commonwealth Games is going to be red hot. If Josh Kerr goes close to the world record, I mean, the fact that he's even asked for that to be the attempt, is it the mile or is it 1,000 metres, whatever the world record distance they're trying? He must be in ripping nick.
He's been on record saying that this is his year. He's ready to go and get after it. I'm pretty sure it's the mile, which if it is, it's 3:43.
Wow.
I know Yared Nagoose is going over to run it now as well.
Correct.
Cam won't be running it, unfortunately. I mean, very close to the Com Games, and he's run a fair bit.
But Josh will be running Com Games.
Exactly right.
And I'll tell you what, home crowd in Glasgow, because he's Scottish.
Oh,
he represents Scotland.
Crazy.
Like Jake Whiteman, they represent Scotland. And when we saw it in Birmingham last Commonwealth Games, when like Laura Muir was able to win and the whole crowd singing "O Flower of Scotland," remarkable.
Yeah.
So that could be a huge showdown.
You could see at the end of London Diamond League 2 world records, because I reckon that women's 800 metre at London Diamond League as well is shaping up to be something where if we get all three, if Keely comes, if Audrey comes, and if Georgia Hunter-Bell all run, that's the perfect timeline for that to happen as well.
Hey, Morgs, did you see Keely? Did you see all the fallout there? And you might have seen on her social media. She had a fall a week before and her knees looked all cut up, and then she was so disappointing at pre. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think the thing, it's so hard. I feel so bad for her because she's obviously been on such a high for years now that she's obviously just going through something. But she was pretty banged up. But it's also, the evidence is right there. You can see her knees are butchered. Yeah. So for her to still fly to America, commit to the cause, still give it a crack, I'm like, mate, if no one finds that admirable, there is something seriously wrong with them because it couldn't be me. I'd be like, dude, I can't even walk. And it's just unfortunate, because she's such a good person. I just really feel for her and the pressure she must be feeling. And the things that people say, it's like the gout issue, right? But to be honest, you don't discredit everything they've done before her 156 in pre. Yeah. She's still an Olympic champion. She's a 154 runner. She'll come back, and I'm so excited for this world record. It'll be awesome when it happens, whoever breaks it. But I'm also just give Keely a break. Yeah. She'll be one of the ones who run 153. We all have bad days. She'll she's a weapon. I remember training with her 2 years ago thinking, fuck, this girl can be whatever she wants to be.
Yeah.
And I've always got full belief in her. So, yeah, it is kind of sad going all that way and for that to happen and the result, panning out the way it did. But knowing Keely, that would have put even more fire in her belly because she is an absolute animal who hates losing. I've never met someone as aggressive as her on the track. And I have full faith, honestly. She's got a long year ahead, so she'll be fine. I think anyway.
Hey, Morgs, can I put a who do you love in for you? Because I would like to get your reaction. We love Coach Francis, who passed away.
Oh, bless.
And it was so sad hearing, and all the tributes, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, Sharika Jackson. This was the unofficial godfather of the re-emergence of Jamaican sprinting. He passed away. He had cancer. Our thoughts and love go to his family. But then I noticed with interest, Morgs, that you did some work with him. So tell us why Coach Francis was so lovable.
Oh, bless. It was so interesting. I actually met him through Maury Plant. May he rest in peace, obviously. And this was back in 2017, 2018. I had this really random opportunity to go to Jamaica, and it was after World Relays that I had actually met Coach Francis for the first time. And it made me laugh the way they train. He's a fun guy. It's the belief he has in his athletes is second to none. It's crazy. But how much he cares for his athletes as people, you just sometimes don't find that with elite coaches. They really find it hard to separate the art from the artist or the artist from the art, whatever that saying is. Whereas he's like, no, you need your life sorted. You need to get it together. I will do anything to make sure we tick every box because that's a fast athlete. And what I loved and what I took away from his training was not only that, but also these guys are the most relaxed people on planet Earth. We have all this technology. I need a 1080 sprint winding machine thing. I need this, I need that. And they're just so raw with their training. It's like, get in the gym, lift heavy, get on the track and run fast, and bang, there's your 10-6, there's your 10-7. And so that's what I love, and that's the approach I now take, is especially with Fort as well, being so old and old school, bless. But yeah, it's just running should be simple. And when it is, that's when fast times come. And he really did prove that with his athletes. So yeah, to see him go, he was really, really loved by so many people. And no matter if you had met him once or 100 times, he would always remember who you were, where you met, and would always say hi. And that's the thing I appreciated, is like, little old me running 51 at the time. He doesn't have to care, but he did. Every time I was on the Diamond League at a World Champs, he'd always have his like thick Jamaican accent, asking how I was going when I was coming back. So yeah, I feel really lucky to have like experienced that. And that was one of the reasons I got to meet Elaine Thompson, and she was like my idol back in the day. So that was really, really, really cool.
Yeah, so our thoughts go to everyone in Jamaican athletics, because they've lost such a significant person.
It's a huge hole.
Who do I love? I love Haftu Strinsos.
Yes.
Breaking the Australian marathon record is an unbelievable achievement. Congratulations to his coach. So his coach, Adam Diddick's got both records,
He's
hasn't
got
he?
them both. Yeah.
That is an unbelievable achievement. So for those that don't know Haftu, so he's a Haileybury kid, Haileybury College in Melbourne, and then went over, did the college system, Villanova, where he was 5 times All-American. I used to watch him. I love the NCAA cross country. And
It's a great event.
I used to love, it's a test of attitude. And both Haftu and Lauren Ryan, a shout out to them, they both led the first lap of an NCAA cross country, and without really thinking, with due respect, that they're going to be winning it. But I love that attitude, and I love the attitude of him. And look, he finished the top 10 once. I think Lauren finished the top 20, which is remarkable. You spoke to Jess Hull. She had a 70 and 90th, and then
it's no
came
guarantee
through to run third. I mean, she's dealing in absolute elite areas. So, and this guy has developed through that Villanova system, then comes back to Australia, found his tribe, found his coach, and here he is making all the way out to a marathon to break the Australian record, to be the first Australian to win the Gold Coast Marathon, since Lee Troop?
Yep, Lee
who was
Troop.
a gun athlete as well. I love him.
Yeah.
I thought it was huge.
I didn't expect it. I thought that he was always capable at some point of breaking the record. I really did.
Really?
I thought that there was something about the way he ran Sydney last year when he was the first Australian there. Then he went to Valencia. It wasn't his day, but he'd been talked about as maybe this is somebody that can go and get it. But in the next few years, I didn't think it would happen this quickly. And to do it on Australian soil is something remarkable. I mean, Andy Buchanan, I think he thought he had a bit more shelf life of his national record than he did in the end. But shout out to Haftu. He's a grinder. Yeah. He's just a grit and grind runner. Like, I thought it was I watched that clip that the Gold Coast Marathon posted, and I think Dave's the one calling of Haftu's final moments. And it's that pure grit to the line to get under that time. Like, I don't know, to be at the back end of a marathon, you're already completely gassed, and then there almost becomes this level of expectation around you. Oh, you're so close. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. To do it by 2 seconds. Awesome. Like, he's out on all fours after the race, and he's probably wondering, like, shit, did I get it? Or did I miss it? Did I equal it? Amazing athlete. And
brilliant.
This is just the floor now. I mean, he could be our first 205 guy from here. I fully believe it. In a really quick race like Valencia, it'd be crazy to see what he can do.
And high tide rises all boats.
Exactly
and
right.
They are all running so fast. As well in the women's, great to see Eloise Welling's back running with Jen Gregson sort of pacing her. So she's back. That was in the half marathon. Izzy Bat-Doyle winning gold there, which was huge. I love Izzy Bat. And what she's also done, go and check her out on Instagram. She's done a new post on like an anti-gravity device on a treadmill. But in that, she's spoken about her journey, and it's a really good reminder for young athletes.
Oh, the injuries.
Injuries. At US college, she had 7 stress fractures in her feet. So 7 times in her college career, and she ended up at UW and did some great things. But 7 times in her career, she had to stop, go, think about, and Morgs is thinking, oh my God, back, hit the rehab again.
7 times.
Cross-training,
Crazy.
rehab, that grind, come back, you're injured again. Go and do it again. And it doesn't break you. It didn't break her, and she's a great advertisement for it.
It's pretty impressive as well in the college system because it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of coaches over there don't have a lot of time for those sorts of injuries. So I know she was, St. John's? And then went to over to UW. Yeah.
And you know, they've shown that they'll be patient.
And now her longevity since then has been incredible.
Yeah.
She's had a few injuries here and there, but
Yeah,
I mean, compared to what she had in college, she's actually been able to string together a lot of really consistent runs. It's the fastest on Australian soil ever as well by an Australian woman.
Brilliant.
That win. So she's again, and I mean, it's I'm not telling anybody something they didn't already know. She's a star. So she's a phenomenon.
And it was big for ASICS because they put the money up to sponsor the
Had
event.
to.
And they got both Haftu breaking the Australian record, Izzy Bat Doyle winning the half as well. So that's important for the brand, and we're all about the brand supporting Australian athletes. So whatever the brand is, no allegiance from us, but whatever the brand is, get behind our Aussie athletes. So I say hallelujah to that. That's who we love. When we love Morgan's outfit as well. We've already touched on that. Can we move towards Did You Notice?
Okay.
And I'm going to start, and we'll throw it around.
Yeah, you've got one here.
I've got a number.
Oh, good.
But the first one I noticed is that our member of our family, and Morgan Mitchell, has announced that she's got a new modelling agent that agent hasn't decided to sign us to.
Oh, Morgs! Aren't we a package deal?
I'll get
now?
you in contact.
What do you got?
No, I don't want the contact. I want a contract. I want the contact. I want the contract, Morgan. We're ready.
Congratulations, kid.
No, thank you. God, can we move on? I'm getting embarrassed.
No, let's dig in. Morgan deserves this. Let's dig in.
What questions do you have?
That's
for me?
very exciting, Morgan.
That's it.
So when's the catwalk?
No, it is. Did it? I don't know. I'm still waiting, to be honest. But no, it is funny because you don't have a long. It's like that whole, modelling. It's kind of you're done and dusted by 25. So to get the call up at 31, I was pretty happy.
She's had to slide that one in there, didn't she?
Yeah, but listen to it.
Usually done at 25. But
So what do you
for
say?
You usually don't know.
Yeah. Is that why
I'm
we're
washed
not
up, but I'm
signed?
back.
Oh, right. That's only age. It's
Hey, a
anything.
bit of a nip and tuck here. Yeah.
Oh,
But no, it's exciting. I've always loved my life away from track, and I think it's important to have other hobbies, and everyone knows fashion's my thing. So to get back into it, I don't know, I'm just super excited to see especially between now and LA, right? Like I think us as athletes, we have to capitalize on everything. And I said to my manager, let's run this shit into the ground. This could be my last.
Let's bank it now.
I'm not going to stop swearing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that is too funny. What did you notice, mate?
Mine's a little bit of a different. I don't want to take it in a negative direction, but mine's a little bit of a different one in that I'm putting the broader media, sports media on notice. I think because at least from my experience, anytime something happens related to gout, my phone gets very hot.
Yeah.
I get a lot of messages from producers or content people saying, hey, do you mind jumping on the show? We'd love to talk about this and that, which I'm all about. Anytime I can talk athletics, I'm about it. But I'm finding that, the likes of when Cam does what Cam does, when Haftu does what Haftu does, when Izzy does what Izzy does, when Jess, Denny, Nina, Curtis, all these people in Australian athletics do incredible things, my phone isn't quite as hot as when it is our boy Wonder, which, again, I'm not saying that he shouldn't get the credentials, but as a sport right now, we're so much broader and so much deeper than just our one really sensational young sprinter. So I would like to put Australian media on notice to say it's important to keep your eyes up and keep your ears open to what a broad spectrum of our Australian athletes are doing, particularly in this push to Glasgow and particularly in our push to LA and eventually Brisbane. We need to be sharing the same energy across the board because our athletes thoroughly deserve it. And I think that if we can even just get little bits and pieces there, we get it out on radio, we get it out wherever we can, it's going to make a massive difference. Yeah. And it just really struck me with Cam where I thought, geez, this is going to be a huge focal point and have to. It's going to be a huge focal point. This is a marathon. Marathon running's never been sexier in Australia than right now. And I just felt like I didn't see enough spoken about in terms of these results. So, I know footy season's in effect and all that stuff. And, obviously the Melbourne media is always hard to break into. But, Yeah, pull the bootstraps up. What's the cane corns? Get up early, do your homework,
do the work,
and bloody put it on the main media because it's thoroughly deserved.
Well, you know what? It's a really good point you raise, but I'll actually put it back on us.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing. Like, let's be frank, we're not doing this for the money.
Yeah.
We're doing this because we are so keen, to talk nonsense, but also so keen to promote this great sport. So it's on us. It's on our sport to promote us, and us being the collective sport. So, yeah, it disappointed me that Cam Myers' performance didn't make 7 Sports News that night. And I messaged them, and they were like, "Yep, hand up, we missed it. We shouldn't have, etc." And 7 then, but they also did a great story on Lockie Kennedy. So they're doing their absolute best. But at the same time, it's on us as a sport to keep promote. You cannot push these great athletes enough. Yeah, you're dead right. I mean, Gout's only got to bend over and do up his shoes, and that's making the news now. Yeah. So we've got one guy that's doing that, but we've still got so many other avenues, so many other levers to pull
100%
for us as a sport, and we've got to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think it's like that maybe the general public will look at it and go, we've got this one bright, shining star. And the matter of the fact is we had one of our most successful Olympics. The last time around, we have so many podium athletes. Our World Juniors was the most dominant World Juniors we'd ever seen. I'm sure this Commonwealth Games might end up being the most dominant Commonwealth Games we've ever seen. It's just so much deeper than just the one star. And then maybe that also will take a little bit of that mounting pressure off his shoulders as well, where I'm sure he feels a slight responsibility of being like, I'm the guy that kind of gets spoken about a lot in this country. So, yeah, look, between the three of us, we'll pump it out there. Yeah. I have no doubt about that. But definitely would be good to see a little bit more coverage, a little bit more deeper research on how fantastic an era of athletics we're in at the moment.
I've got another did you notice. Did you notice reputation counts? Did you watch the women's mile at Prefontaine?
Yes.
And the greatest middle distance athlete arguably ever in Faith Kipyegon clearly wasn't in shape, but no one knew it. So when Faith leads, all of the great milers all lined up behind her and went, well, Faith's about to go. 2 laps out, Faith's about to go and do what Faith's about to do. And and then the pace is slow and Faith's stacking them up. But people, is it just me? Morgan, jump in here. You two are, far better credentialed than me to be talking about this. But I just noticed that all the guns behind her were lined up thinking, Faith's just going to do this, a kick down.
Yeah.
No, Faith wasn't in nick.
Yeah.
But no one, because of her reputation, who it was, no one went, this is going too slow. I'm going past Faith and going to kick on here. Not one athlete.
Yeah.
She led until 200 to go because they're all stacked up behind her because reputation was, this is Faith Kipyegon. I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to be the young punk who goes and takes over the lead in the pacemaking.
Yeah, and you don't want to get burned as well. You don't want to be the one to take it and then just find her right back in front of you 100 metres later. Reputation is everything. Morgan, you'd be racing so many people with reputation you have in the past, but 100%. Like you'd be looking at them going, I know what you're capable of. I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it so many times. Am I game enough? I don't think so.
Yeah.
What do you think, Morgs?
I feel the same. Like, I get why they did it for sure, because she's a weapon. But I think now that they've all had a sniff, things will change dramatically. Because you know what? It just takes like one scalp, like Nikki winning that. Now they're going to think, all right, well, I can do this every time. And so, I do think we'll see this shift in podium sharing. Like, it won't just be the top 3. Another young gun will come through. Then Faith might come through again. So I think it makes the sport exciting. And it's nice to know, I hope now that those girls have the belief to be like, okay, maybe I can now try and take her on a little bit earlier. Because, sometimes you do have to change it up, I think, in distance. And I don't know if that's the sprinter in me, because we've got no option but to go from the gun. But sometimes I'm like, just give it a fucking crack and take her on from the get-go. Like, you don't know if you don't try.
Yeah.
But then again, I've never run a 350 anything. So.
So 1,500 isn't going to be on the list of events that you might try in the lead up?
I said to Ford, mate, I will never, ever, ever, even with this 800 journey, you'll never see me jog ever again. Absolutely not. Nah.
Never again.
Nah. No amount of money.
No jogging.
Put any dollar amount. No,
Bullshit.
hate it.
No amount
Absolute-
of money. No amount of money.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Come off it.
What do you
hate it. Oh.
What do you consider jogging? So you're saying that you're never ever going to go for like
I'll never go over 3K again in my life. I don't even think I'd go over 2.5K. Like our Sundays will be a session. I hate jog. I don't understand the
Sunday
point
long
of the
run.
Sunday long run.
What do you mean?
What the
What do you mean?
for what reason? I'm running like
you've gotta-
6-minute Ks.
You want to build the engine. I'm sorry, you're going to have to start running over 2.5K.
No, engine's pretty good without even building it. We're at 201. I've got full faith in Fort that we can do it without jogging.
What's the
And I said to
longest
him,
Sunday long run you've ever done?
Fuck, man. Sorry, Richo. I'm going to stop swearing.
I like how she apologises to me, but not you. I
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
like, she's like,
I get into I'm in the moment.
Sorry, you go for it.
It was actually 16K. But this
What?
one time I got
This is
lost
Liz-
at
when you-
Falls.
Was this Liz Matthews
Yeah.
as your coach?
16K. You can check my Strava. Yeah. Get the OMTIU or whatever. They get those guys on there.
Wow.
I got lost at Falls and ended up doing like 19K.
Oh,
and I nearly quit the sport.
That's not where you want to get lost.
I
either.
just-
There's too many trails that roll off some of those
also-
paths. Yeah.
mate.
Your engine doesn't need to
Yeah.
be
Like,
running
it-
for 19K, man.
Nah.
Come on.
And I think for me, it's like, it just really ruins, as a sprinter, it really does ruin your technique. You know, like you've got to be high on your hips. I was just dragging my feet around Melbourne. I'd have all my friends like, hey, we saw you on your long run. How was it?
You're like-
I'm like, how do you fucking think it was?
Yeah. You're like, don't look at me. Yeah.
Walking along Bridge Road.
Okay, never
No,
over
so shout
3K.
out to the distance guys. That's impressive.
okay.
No, won't do it.
2.5K is the
Won't do it.
most ever. Another thing I noticed, disappointing. So St. Lucia have named their team. So Julian and Alfred not going to the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So many people aren't.
Yeah.
Hey,
God,
I
that's
feel like a lot of athletes aren't going.
Yeah. So,
Why?
Is it for ultimates? Is that why they're not going?
Well, see, it's an off season. So ultimates. I mean, how much prize money is there? I mean, does Commonwealth Games
What is it?
need to consider prize
Yeah.
money? We need. You know what? We're taking our very best team, and in the end, it'll still be elite world competition, and we'll celebrate the brilliance of each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's their loss for not being there. Simple as that. But it's just, as a huge fan of the sport, you would love to have seen her running there.
Oh, absolutely. Julian Alfred, one of the most exciting sprinters going around, obviously. I mean, the Olympic gold medalist. So it is a shame. And I'm sure they all have varying reasons as to why they're not going. But, yeah, you want to see the best of the best. And from an athlete perspective, Morgan, I'm sure you want the best of the best there as well. You want to compete and contest against the best the Commonwealth has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you also notice that habits do stick? Our girl, Sha'Carri Richardson, my sister, Sister Sha'Carri.
Part of the family now. Yeah.
Actually, we call each other cousins. Sorry, Australian school gift winner Sha'Carri Richardson refuses to dip, and it cost her the 100 metres. She never dips.
Why does she not do it?
And every time that I've heard her interviewed, she says, Dennis Mitchell keeps saying to me, I've got to run through the line, I've got to dip. It cost her again.
Yeah, you have to dip. That's
She's got to start dipping. She's
sprinting 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed it again straight away. On the line, I thought she'd got there.
Yeah.
But then you have a look at her teammates done the dip.
Yeah, you need you.
Morgs, can you
It's so.
ring my
It's
cousin?
so fun.
Yeah,
Hey, Sha'Carri, you don't know me, but you should
you
start.
need a dip. Yeah,
No, I think also it's just so funny because you think if you clear by 5 meters, who cares? But mate, when there's money on the line, imagine if that was the Olympic final. Like you've got no one to blame but yourself. Because I noticed she kept doing it at Stall.
Correct.
Remember, I think it was
oh my
her
god,
semi.
yeah. It looked like she
I didn't know
wasn't
if she
making
was
the
in or
final.
not.
Yeah,
I would thank God she made it, but I'm like, even then, still hasn't learned her lesson. I love it. I also love the audacity. I think you have to, as bad as it is, you do have to, I guess,
it's a flex.
admire the fact that she doesn't. Yeah, she just doesn't. Like, dude, couldn't be me. How much do you win for a Diamond League? What is it
Or
these days?
some of them. So it's 10,000 US to win, but if
Should be
you,
more.
some of them are diamond pluses. So they have selected it. So I don't know whether that was a diamond because like this is the beauty of Kurt. The 2 that Kurt won on the circuit were the 2 diamond pluses for the pole vault.
So
So he picked up
how
40 grand.
good. That's sick.
It's not enough.
Still not enough.
Contextually, it's
No,
not
no,
enough.
no.
It's not enough.
But
at least he did it when
was
it
happy.
counts.
Yeah, I think he was pretty happy.
That's
about
a weird
it.
thing, though. I feel like the price. Okay, did you notice the price hasn't changed for years?
Yeah, I know.
It was like that
when
back
would it
in
have-
2016.
Hasn't moved with inflation, that's for sure.
Well, and
Yeah,
you know what?
Interesting.
The athletes are a derivative of the broadcasting rights. Surely World Athletics
Yeah.
is selling the broadcasting rights for a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So therefore, that money
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
be trickling down to the athletes.
Well,
And $10,000
Yeah.
first across the line in a Diamond League at Paris or at Prefontaine or in Monaco, with due respect, is nowhere near good enough.
No,
They should be able to set
Yeah.
them individually, like, you know, bring on individual sponsors per event or whatever, and actually make the prize pool different.
Yeah.
Because like somewhere like Monaco, right? It screams wealth.
Yeah.
Surely you think that they could have more money in terms of prize money rather than just have a set limit across
Correct.
every single event.
So we need to just go up to the Crown
Yeah.
Prince and go, Crown Prince.
Yeah, say,
this
mate,
is
just-
embarrassing, mate.
chuck us in a 100 grand.
CP,
Yeah.
come on.
Put them in there.
Come on. Throw in a
You've
couple.
got, I
in
know
the
you're
ocean
good
for them.
for it.
We know you've
Yeah,
got it.
I know you're good for it. Yeah, I know you've got it. Crazy.
We've gone absolutely everywhere, and we're going to be running out of time. I need to quickly do this. I've got to throw to you two. Morgan was busy racing, and you were busy flying.
Yep.
So Seth O'Donnell, and my God, is this young man an impressive guy who danced to his own beat and does not apologise for that whatsoever. He's his own man. I got an opportunity to sit down with him for the podcast because you two are unavailable. For your listening pleasure, one-on-one with Seth O'Donnell. Brilliant to have Seth O'Donnell sitting in the hot seat, mate. Welcome to the call room.
Thanks, Richo. I'm keen. Super
Mate.
excited.
We are so excited that you've made the Commonwealth Games team, mate. Can I start there by saying congratulations? Huge thrill for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's always hard to know which way it's going to go. Obviously, there was the discretionary selections, and I wasn't quite good enough to get the automatic selections, so it was a stressful few weeks. But good to get through, good to be selected. But I don't want to just go to be part of the team. I want to be, in the mix. So, it's a really good achievement. But I'm just focusing on. This is going to sound really bad. 1 week at a time.
The old footy analogy.
The old footy analogy. I've watched lots of press conferences over the years, that's for sure.
Everything comes back to footy with you. And I love the
Yeah.
way you celebrated your selection by taking a footy out and saying normally you hate the Commonwealth Games because it interrupts the footy. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so whether it be the Commonwealth Games or the Olympics, I used to hate it at school where all the attention would go off the footy for a few weeks and everyone would talk about the athletics and, footy would go out of the spotlight for a little bit and I couldn't stand it. And so it's just funny now. It wouldn't have even crossed my mind at the stage that I was going to end up representing Australia in the Commonwealth Games, but here we are.
So were you as a junior, did you compete in athletics at all?
I did. So part of high school, you obviously get the day off school if you get to go to athletics or do cross country. I was good at high school, so
Right.
I'm allowed to have a few days off here and there. But
Yeah.
I used to enjoy it just for a bit of fun. And I think the main part of my childhood that I think has held me in good stead even now is just trying new things. I would always just try new things and have a crack at whatever I do. Right now I'm having a crack at running and a crack at work and whatever it is. But that's what I used to do at high school.
Right.
And I was good at running. I wasn't so good at swimming. I was terrible at swimming.
Really?
But, so I never intended to get into running. It just sort of turned out that way.
And so footy was your dream? You wanted to be like most young lads growing up in Melbourne, you wanted to be an AFL player?
That's it. I want to represent the brown and gold,
Really?
not the green and gold.
How do you judge your footy? What were you like?
I had excellent footy smarts. When I had the ball in hand, I was very good use of the ball, but I was just too slow off the mark. Like for those who know the 20-metre sprint, I was running 3.3 something.
Oh, right.
I reckon the AFL average is about 3.1 or just under that. So that's a fairly big gap. I was just way too slow off the mark and obviously too small. So used to get beaten up all the time.
Right. So
Yeah.
how long did you keep playing footy for?
Well, I played over 150 games for Dingley.
So after school?
Not after school, that's
No.
including school
Yeah.
as well. I played in a premiership in the under-19s for Dingley. And I gave it up around COVID time.
Right. And because that athletics started to get more serious? Because COVID's not that long ago.
Yeah, not so much. So It's a funny story because footy pre-season had just about ended, and the coach of the Dingoes at the time was a guy called Shane Morwood, who is a revered figure at the Dingley Football Club, 4-time premiership coach. He was a premiership player for Collingwood.
That's right.
And he pulled me aside at the end of pre-season and he goes, "You've got to stop running. You need to start putting on some weight. So I want you to eat lots, hit the gym, and no more running." And I thought, okay, fair enough. But I couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
And you had Gav Burren on the podcast a little bit earlier. He'd reach out to me for, I reckon, the second time, about a year apart. And he was like, "Why don't you come down to training?" And the response was always, "Well, because I'm focusing on my footy." But footy pre-season had finished. There was nothing to do. So I thought I'll go down and train with Gav for a little bit. And I think I won the under 20 state title for the 5K off not very much training, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go back to footy anyway, so I stuck it out with Gav for a bit, got a little bit fitter, and then sort of never went back to footy
So you
after that.
You must be you must have unbelievable just natural endurance.
I think there has to be an element of natural talent to anyone who achieves a lot in whatever it is that they're going after in their life. But at the same time, I think I'm a very hard worker and I've also a very deep thinker as well. And I think that sort of goes to show with my progression when I started athletics, because I had a bit of a rapid progression, and then from probably 2022 to 2024, I stagnated quite a bit, and it wasn't until I stepped away from what I was doing, sort of took control of what I was doing myself a little bit, and then got the right people around me that I then started to make leaps and bounds in the sport. So as much as you need the talent, you've got to have a really strong work ethic and the right people around you as well.
Are you an overthinker?
Yeah.
So is that
Yes, but like I was having this discussion with an old teacher of mine recently, and it's like, yes, I'm an overthinker, but without that, there's a lot of my success I would attribute to a lot of the deep thinking that I've done. So whether I'd be able to reach the levels that I have without the overthinking, I'm not sure. So there's always a little bit of baggage with some negative qualities, but there's also some good parts to it as well.
Yeah. I always think in athletics that we're so defined by who we're coached by at the moment, as opposed to acknowledging everyone who's been part of the journey. So you've mentioned Gav Burren. So take us through your coach progressions, if you like, until you've ended up with Andrew Russell.
It's a very interesting story, I'd say. So there was a bit of a crossroads at the end of 2020, and I was deciding whether I went back to football once COVID had cleared or whether I was going to stick on with running. And there was a key mentor for me at the time who'd been involved in footy for a long, long time, called a guy called Adam Damashki, who runs one of the most successful footy academies in the country, and they do various other things as well. He was a key mentor of mine towards the end of my footy career, who gave me a lot of opportunities in football that I was very grateful for. And I saw him as someone that I'd reach out to, and he gave me some advice that has sort of stuck with me. And he was a guy that was very poetic. He wouldn't tell you the way it is. He just lay it out there and you sort of make your own decisions. And he goes, sometimes you choose your dreams, other times your dreams choose you. And I marinated on that a bit, and I thought, I haven't given running enough of a crack, so I'll stick it out for another year or two, see what happens, and I can always go back to football. And through that period, I trained with Sean Williams down at Edithvale. And Sean, it was very big on running mileage. And I think probably because of my football progression and my lack of athletics early on, my body's very robust.
Right.
So I really responded to Sean's training early on, and I was lucky enough to win an Australian cross-country title in 2022. And I think the majority of that came from just my ability to handle some very high miles at a young age. And then perhaps that sort of period worked for me initially, but then it didn't quite work for me for a little bit, particularly on the track. I sort of stagnated a little bit on the track. And then I think my biggest progression then come from stepping away from formal coaching and learning a little bit more about myself and the sport, and then going from there.
So you started coaching yourself?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it came from curiosity about what other athletes around the world were doing, because the Australian system, in terms of a lot of the coaches I've worked with, had been very similar, I would say, but it sort of gets you to a point, and then, for me anyway, and then I sort of stagnated a little bit. And I was very fascinated about how the Europeans trained.
Right.
So pretty much just through my own reading, I put together a bit of trial and error program with a lot of threshold work, which is different to what I'd done in the past. And it sort of creates an enormous amount of aerobic work that really sort of pushed me to the next edge. To put it simply, I reckon in the past the way I was training was there was a lot of very hard work and then lots of easy running around that. And that gets you to a point, but you just sort of can't get any further. So a lot of the threshold work is more moderate style training, but I can do so much more of it.
Right.
So I just built a huge tank that helped take me to the next level.
And then how did you meet Andrew Russell, and how did this little partnership start?
Well, I always wanted to work with Russ.
Yeah. He was busy in footy, though.
He was busy in footy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was too busy with your Blue Boys.
Yeah, the mighty Blue
getting
Boys,
him
please.
nowhere.
Thank you very little. That's his fault.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not our fault.
And he said, "No, I can't do it." And then I put in a couple of good races, and then he reached out and congratulated me on a couple of good races, and I said we should have a chat. And so that's all it was initially. And what I was doing was working for me. So if someone else was going to come into the picture, I needed someone to really fit the bracket of what I needed. And Russ is a really strong character, and I sort of knew that before I started working with him.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but I learned very quickly that it was going to be a partnership that was going to last, and one that's going to be essential moving forward for me, because not only is he very knowledgeable, but I think probably the best aspect that he brings to my world is just his experience with working with high-level athletes and his ability to build relationships and to get me around the right people.
Yeah.
So he's fostered a really good relationship for me.
And no doubt robust conversations, because you know exactly where you stand. How have you handled that?
That's great.
Yeah,
I
love that.
Yeah, he's very strong and I'm very strong, but we're very respectful of each other, and I think that we work together really well, and it didn't really take us too long to figure each other out, I think, which is really important. And I think one of the things that he brings into my relationship from a coaching athlete point of view that I haven't had necessarily in the past is just the pure amount of investment that he's got and the care that he's got to see. He obviously wants me to do as well as I possibly can, but it's the amount of time that he puts into it is far and above anything I've had in the past.
Oh, that's exceptional. But then I notice you train on your own a lot. Do you miss being around a group? You know, you come from a team environment. You're a footy guy.
Yes and no.
Do you miss being surrounded by different characters and the like?
Well, I don't feel like I'm missing out on that really, because I do a lot of my training at the gym on the treadmill, and I've got a really good community at my workplace at the gym down in Seaford. So I work there and I train there. The relationships with the people there are exceptional. So that's sort of my social bubble in and around my training. I've never really felt the need to train with someone.
Right.
And even in the groups that I have been in, for the most part, I was usually just doing the work out the front by myself anyway. So I don't necessarily feel like I need someone in training to push me through, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know what I want to do, just go out and do it.
So when you get in, like in an Australian team, whether you be at World Championships or World Cross Country and now Commonwealth Games, do you relish being involved in a big team with, in this case, with different sports, or do you tend to try to get away on your own a bit?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, because as much as I do want to be a part of the team, my primary focus is putting myself in an environment where I can perform as well as I can. And if that's being away from the team a little bit more than what others would be, then that's part of the sacrifice I think I have to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here with me and you're about to jump on a plane and go to Europe, but a lot of the other Australians have been over in Europe for a fair while now. Is that by design, the fact that you're still here and not doing diamond leagues, or is it a financial situation? Like, what's the ideal prep for you?
It's probably a bit of both. I'd say the main answer to that is probably more financial more than anything. I've got to work to support myself. So if I'm going overseas, I've got to be really careful, setting myself up for enough time that I can support myself, and then also, So that's one of the challenges. And I think the other thing is I love my environment that I've got here.
Right.
Absolutely love it.
So how do you replicate that overseas? If you've set it all up over there?
Yeah, I bring people with me.
You do?
That's a start. But also, so I'm going to base out of Belgium, which I did last year as well. I was really comfortable there. So just trying to make the environment as familiar as I can, that's for sure.
And after that Shanghai Diamond League debut performance where became the third Australian ever to break 730 for 3,000, do you feel like you belong in that environment now? Do you have a sense of, hey, I'm worthy?
I've never really looked at it that way, to be honest. That's a good question, because I don't know if this is a stupid answer, but I don't really feel the need to feel worthy.
Right.
I've got that from what I'm doing with my people. I don't need to be in a diamond league to get that, if that makes sense.
So you don't get intimidated by big names in the sport because you just concentrate on yourself?
I don't know if this is where you're going, but I saw a thing last week on the footy show where Russ was talking about the other people I'm up against, and I don't have a clue who they are type of thing. That's not entirely true, but for the most part it is, in the sense that, especially when I'm part of those, even like we talk about the race hotel, and there's lots of very good athletes everywhere. The majority of them, I'm not really sure who they are, and so I'm not really overawed by the occasion, if that makes sense.
So you're standing next to, I mean, I'm sure you know Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He's not competing, he's injured at the moment, but short of someone like him, you're just like, just someone I've got to line up against.
Pretty much, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, when I look at your progression, it's quite remarkable how quickly it's happened, whether you be Australian champion over 5,000, 10,000, a couple of times cross-country. You've run 3 really fast half marathons, like 103 sort of half marathon. And you've run, 337 for 1,500 metres off the top of my head. That range, where's your sweet spot?
Don't know. Well, that's a better question for me in 10 years' time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why you're concentrating on the 5 at the moment?
So right now, most people would probably say the 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to put myself in a box with the 5. It's just sort of worked out that way. It was funny how I sort of went about going into the World Champs last year. I had an initial meeting with my manager, Alla, about 18 months ago, about March. And it was right before I did the Murray plant meet, and I hadn't quite sort of announced myself yet. And she said, so what's your plans for Tokyo? And then I said, Tokyo was 4 years ago. The Olympics in Tokyo. I didn't realise she was talking about the World Champs were in Tokyo. Yeah. And then she sort of felt that I was best suited to the 5, so we went after a few 5s, and then my world rank went up a little bit in the 5, and then that's how I ended up going after that.
Right.
I don't think I've had the opportunity over 1,500 yet, so I don't want to close that box. And I certainly haven't had the opportunity over 10K. We don't really get that in Australia. The only 10K race we do is Zatopek, and that, it's a championship style race, so they tend to be a little bit slower. So I might have some potential there as well.
No, so it's interesting from a training point of view. So you don't have to tailor it around like that. You don't look at it. I mean, I look at some of the distance runners, and they've all been sort of formulated over the past, set ways that they train. And some of them, they tend to get 1,500, become 5,000 metre runners, become 10,000 metre runners, and end up hitting the road. But you don't look at it like that.
Nah, not at all. So I think we have targets in terms of what races are coming up, and therefore what we've got to go after for that. But there's quite a lot of versatility in the work that I do, is what I would say. So I run as much as a marathoner, but I certainly do a lot more speed work on the track than what a marathoner would. So I've got quite a different philosophy when it comes to that side of things.
Social media, you look like you enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
So when did you start that, and were you surprised at the reaction that you've got from running fans that seem to really take you on as a bit of a cult hero?
Probably. I don't know if I like the term cult hero, but...
What term would you rather?
Well...
Quirky cat?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't sort of see it anyway, then I'm just being myself. So my best mate, Sammy, he came to me a couple of years back and he said, "You've got a lot of potential in this space. We're just going to put you out there." And I was like, "Oh, you know, do I really have to?" type of thing. He goes, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
And so he does a lot of my stuff for me, and a lot of it is just I'm just doing what I usually would, and he's capturing it and, you know, putting it together in a way that looks good as well. So we put a lot of effort into it, and it's fun. It's not a chore.
No. Channel 7 come down and do a story for you for the news and for the Commonwealth Games, and suddenly we've got a drum kit out there. What the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm a keen musician,
Right.
Richo. I absolutely love my heavy metal.
Right.
That's my outlet.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you in a band at the moment, or have you?
Yeah, it's really challenging.
Take us through your music journey.
Yeah, it's really challenging. So I've been part of a band called Adhesion for a few years. So
Yeah.
we released an album a couple of years back. I'm not the most committed band member because I'm going hit this everywhere.
Yeah. So I've got things to do. I've got to go around the world and run. They go, shut up.
Yes, I know. But so, so I'm not drumming as much as what I used to, but
Right.
I was in a band and it was pretty cool to release an album.
So good.
But yeah.
Heavy metal. Any vocals from you? Or-
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, a bit of vocals. So I'll sing on one of the songs if anyone wants to check it out. It's Tough As.
Yeah.
Not the best singer, but I just love it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It sounds like that's what you've always said. Footy, music, growing up, and then the iconic hairstyle. Is that the heavy metal hairstyle? Is that what you've always run with?
Yeah, always run with.
Yeah.
I think I actually had a haircut today, and I was chatting to my barber about it. And he said, "How long have you had it?" And I said, "Oh, I can't remember. It's at least 15 years. It's since before I was 10 years old, I reckon."
Right.
So I was inspired by my dad. My dad had a really cool mullet, and
Yeah.
he was like, "You should get one." And I was like, "Let's do it."
Dad said to you should get one.
That's how it came about. Yeah. So
And
Nothing
then you've
more
just
than
kept. How long have you been running this program for?
yeah, very long time.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going.
No,
Anytime
absolutely
soon.
not. That's all. It's all part of the image, and you're dripping in the magnificent swoosh. That must have been a huge thrill to get a deal done with an iconic brand like Nike for you.
Oh, absolutely. And they've been unreal support, especially setting me up overseas. Like I'd never been overseas primarily because of financial reasons. So, they've been a great support getting me overseas and racing. And it's very great brand to represent. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're a smart young man as well. Tell us about your work as a physiotherapist.
Oh, I don't know if I'm that smart, but
Well, it's hard to. You have to get a great mark to get into the course for
Yes.
starters. So yes, you are smart.
well, it's again, I still don't know, whether I'll be doing it fully long term. But the way it came about was I didn't know what to do at the end of school. My goal at high school was just to do as well as I could. And then just generally, I wanted to work in some way to do with sport, and I like helping people.
Right.
So I narrowed it down to physio and teaching. And then I was sort of like, if I try physio, I don't like it, I can become a teacher. It's a bit harder to do it if it's the other way around.
Yeah.
If I started teaching and didn't like it, it would be hard to get into physio. So just stuck at it, and it did, got through the course. And I think the best part of my work is the people that I work with, and then also work with in terms of my colleagues, but then also the patients that come through. Like I love working with runners,
Yeah.
but not just purely runners as well. I love working with people who are keen to get the most out of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your knowledge of your own body, must be a huge asset in your athletics.
We break a lot of rules, Rich, eh?
Do you?
There's no doubt about that.
What rules do you break?
Well, I've had a lot of issues with bone stress.
Yeah.
So one of the interesting stories of last year was I had a stress reaction in my sacrum, in my back. And so a stress reaction is sort of like the stage before it becomes a stress fracture. And we took a bit of time off, and I cross-trained for a bit, and then we rescanned again, and it sort of progressed to a fracture, which wasn't very good for whatever reason. And we got to a point where it was like, well, I'm either going to have to stop and miss the world champs, or we're going to have to get creative. Now, the sacrum's a bone that has fairly good healing rates, so we knew that. It'd be different if it was like a neck of femur, which is a little bit more risky in terms of healing rates. And I sat down with my doc and Russ and the rest of the team, and I was like, what's the worst that could happen here? Can we push on a little bit and try and make a push for the world champs? And he said, well, the worst thing that could happen is probably that you'll just keep getting sorer to the point where you have to stop again. So me and my physio and the doc, we came up with a plan where we decided to run every second day, because we knew that bone likes a good amount of rest in between sessions.
Right.
So if we constantly load the bone, that's what breaks it down. So I thought if we go every second day, we give it 48 hours roughly between one set and another for it to recover. And then the other thing was we broke up the sessions. So instead of going back into continuous running straight away, it was more we were running fast straight away, but for very short periods.
Right.
Did that for a month or so. I started to feel better. Initially, I was sore, but because I had 2 days to recover, I was able to feel better and better. And then it got to the point where I was able to return to full training. Pain went away. We rescanned, and the bone stress had healed. Now that's a very, very unique case.
So
and
it
I'm
healed
telling,
even though you you in effect trained it to heal.
Exactly. Whereas we're taught at physio school that if there's any sign of bone stress, it's
Rest.
no-go, rest. It's because bone takes a long time to heal, to turn over and to get back to normal. And so I suppose the reason why I'm telling this story is not that you should do it or that there's better ways out there, but it's more so from the sense that, me working with other good people as well, but our knowledge of the certain aspects of tissue healing sort of helped us to get a little bit creative to put myself in a position to represent Australia, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Is fueling a big part of that, making sure you maintain your bone health through fueling?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's different for different people.
Right.
Fueling's less of a problem for me. I've got some biomechanical issues. So in my lower back, I've got what we call chronic pars defects. So the pars is a connection from one level in the spine to the next. And so essentially a chronic pars defect means that there's a separation between the two bones in the spine, and being chronic means I'm going to have it for forever. And it's likely I've had this for a long period of time, even from probably my footy days. I don't have the best running form either. So I often load my back a lot, probably a lot more than what other runners do. So we're working on things to try and get my pelvis and stuff a little bit stronger. But from a fueling perspective, my main focus has been around energy availability, which is easier to do if you don't focus on purely just eating healthy all the time, which a lot of people think we do, but it's not necessarily the healthiest diet from, on paper.
Yeah.
But making sure you've got enough energy is a key for me.
You mentioned your technique.
Yes.
The way you carry your arms, etc. Like we can pick you out in not only the mullet, but we can pick you out in the run, even if we couldn't see anyone's head. Is that, do you and Russ like that, or are you trying to improve on that? How do you assess that?
Yeah, it's funny. So Russ is very big on it. He's always talking about my arms and training.
Yeah.
And it's a bit that annoys me the most, because sometimes I'll do a rep that's a little bit slower than what I'd like. And he goes, gee, you look really good with your arms there. And I'm like, yeah, but I run it slower. But yeah, no, it's something that we're constantly working on, because if I'm to get to the next step, we're looking at every avenue that we can, because, I want to get the absolute best out of myself. I'm not happy with just rocking up and just I know it's a big deal to represent Australia, but I want to get the absolute best out of myself, whatever that may be in time.
So what's the definition of success at Com Games then for you?
That's a really good question, Richo. There's a song by Meshuggah.
Right.
Meshuggah is one of my favourite heavy metal bands. It's called Don't Look Down. And it pokes fun at people who are just fully invested in goals and ambitions that they set for themselves. And the way I'd like to view the Commonwealth Games, or any other event for that matter, is that I'm trying to put myself in a position to be as fit as I can, as smart as I can on the day, and get there as fresh and as injury-free as I can. And then the rest will take care of itself. So my focus is on looking down at all my flaws and looking down at what everyone else could produce to try and come up with the best plan day to day, week to week, month to month that'll put me in the best position to run as well as I can, and whatever it will be.
Brilliant attitude, mate. Absolute spirit. Is there a camaraderie amongst the middle distance crew, or there's healthy rivalry? I mean, we've seen this incredible 20-year-old in Cam Myers, who you ran second to at Nationals over 5K.
Yeah.
I mean, his mile the other day was just breathtaking.
Yeah.
Is there camaraderie? Do you share ideas amongst all your group, or everyone just does their thing and I'll see you on the start line?
He's a Hawks fan, so I love him.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting in the sense that distance running in Australia, we're so sort of widespread where we are in the world and what we're doing. Cam's based out of Canberra, but then, another key person who I reach out to a fair bit is Jess Hull, and she's often outside of Australia more than she is inside Australia. I think Australia's best 5,000 metre runner, he is now, in Kai Robinson, is based overseas. So we're not really in each other's hair as much as what a footy club environment would be like. So I think the best thing about Australian athletics is the fact that we've got so many good athletes across a variety of different sports that help bring the sport up together as much as they're competitors of mine. And when I see them run as well, if I'm honest, I can't be fully happy for them because I want to.
Yeah, of course.
I want to be pushing as well, but I can fully appreciate what it does for the sport as a whole and for every individual in it. We're continuing to raise the bar together. Yeah, I think.
When you walk into a room at the Commonwealth Games, is Cam, because you're a Hawthorn supporter, is he the go-to guy? If you walk into a busy room full of Australian sports people and the team, have you got a go-to? You got some good mates that you go to, or you just?
Yeah, I think Jess Hull's a standout for me.
Yeah. Beautiful person.
Yeah, she's always.
I'd love to say something negative about it, but
I know,
she's so
not
nice.
Much. I'm trying to think of something negative to say about it now. It'd be hard to come up with something. But her and her partner, husband Dan.
Yeah.
Unbelievable help for me while I've been overseas, especially because it's been a new environment for me, like very new. Until last year, I'd never been overseas. So, yeah, just having people that you can relate to and that care about you, I think is really important. So,
that's fantastic.
It's far more important than any accolade they can achieve for me anyway, put it that way, yeah.
Do you race before Com Games?
Well, yeah, I'm keen to do some shorter races just to get the legs ticking over a bit, hopefully run fast, and then...
What do you got planned at the moment? Are they locked in?
Yeah, so 1,500 and a 3K.
Okay, whereabouts are they?
There's 1,500 in Belgium and the 3K's in Budapest.
Okay. And then do you go into the holding camp in Barcelona?
Yeah.
Or is that how it works for you?
Yeah, no, we're pretty open about not wanting to go to the holding camp just because the conditions are a little bit more challenging for distance runners, particularly when we're not preparing to race in the heat.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be quite hot in Spain. So we'll base out of Belgium, and when we're ready to go across, then we'll head across.
Do you would you like to do altitude? Are you a fan? Of course, you're a scientist of the sport. Of course, you've checked it all out. I've just been looking with great interest at so many of the middle distance athletes and distance athletes have been at St. Moritz.
Yeah.
And then some have come down already and raced, and we've seen Sarah Billings break a record. We've seen so many great performances. Are you keen to do that?
Yeah, so I've got some interesting perspectives on altitude, but they're not super relevant in the sense that I haven't been able to complete a full altitude block yet. And the more I do of it, the more I'll learn about it. One of the fascinating aspects of altitude that I've found through reading is from a guy called Marius Bakken, which a lot of people will know through as the godfather of the double threshold type training. And he had an interesting perspective on how altitude is very easy to measure the differences, in the sense that, part of the reason why we go to altitude is try to boost our red cell volume and hemoglobin and a couple of other different things. And because it's so easily it's so easy to test, when we see improvements in that, we automatically think we're getting better, but it's not necessarily the case. And so he experimented with different things of going over and doing altitude, where he'd go over for much shorter stints and just do certain threshold work, and then you'd come back from that and notice an improvement in his threshold. So I guess I'm keen on it, but we'll be creative in terms of what we want to do with it, and it has to come at the right time for me. And now wasn't the right opportunity in the sense that we had a major championships coming up. I haven't done it before, so there's more chance it could go wrong than go right. So I just want to stick to what I know, but I'm really keen to experiment with it moving forward. I tried a block in December last year, and I got very sick.
Really?
Just got the flu.
Oh, okay.
Not altitude sickness. It's just more probably the stress of I just run Zatopek, and then we went overseas and then started training in an environment that I'd never trained in before, and in the sense of the altitude, and then got very sick. So I had to come off the mountain to respond to that, to get better. So I haven't been able to execute a few full block.
I'll watch that with great interest. So due to work, do you compete at Glasgow and have to come straight home?
Yep, I'll be back.
Bugger.
Ready to go. No, I love it though. It's good.
You want to come back to work, and also, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll do my sums, you'll come back sort of mid-August, early to mid-August, and get ready for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
what are your thoughts? Can they go the whole way this year?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you reckon, what about this? I reckon they're drinking their own bathwater a bit. I reckon they're a bit too happy with themselves.
Yeah,
Agree or disagree?
This is coming from a Carlton supporter who's got, and at the time of recording this, Hawthorn are playing Carlton this week.
Correct. Shots fired.
Yeah. I think we are a very good chance this year. I think it's very frustrating at the moment because there's lots of aspects of our game that are hurting us, particularly in the middle. We're getting smashed and we're getting opened up. But I think Freo are going too well. Their wheels are going to come off eventually. Sydney are just Sydney. When September comes and they're going to come to Melbourne, they just can't handle it.
Ouch.
Then we've got us and Brisbane. So Brisbane's the one that I'm worried about.
Right.
But if we're in the top four, we're going to give ourselves every chance. And as much as, we got belted by Melbourne, we lost to the Bulldogs, we've lost a few games here and there, we've only got to be firing at the right end of the year. And if we're in the top four, that's all we need to be.
Freo, I'll take Freo, you take Hawthorn. Bottle of wine. Are you a drinker at all?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay. A bottle of wine, but I want something at $100 or north.
Done. I'll do it.
What a great idea, and I'll get you a wine that you'll never ever drink.
That's it. Sounds good.
At the end of every one of our interviews, and you've been absolutely awesome, mate, we do a little fast feet where I ask you a whole lot of questions and love to get your reaction. Do you have a nickname?
Not really. So the only one I can think of is Wild Thing.
Right. That's when you were a kid or now recent?
Do you know much about the reference of the Wild Thing?
Are you talking about Major League Baseball?
No, to be honest, I don't know why I'm called the Wild Thing, but through my work, I work for the Dandenong Stingrays as a physio there, and one of the coaches there goes, "You look like the Wild Thing." And then it just sort of stuck, and then in and around the traps I've been called the Wild Thing here and there, or just the Thing. But
so I want you to Google.
I don't really know where it comes from.
There's a movie, Major League, and a guy, he's got a mullet but with the shaved in.
Yeah.
And he's a pitcher that's very, let's just say he's flamboyant.
Yeah.
His best is outstanding, but when he pitches, it can go anywhere. And when he comes out of the dugout, the whole crowd sings Wild Thing. That might be about that.
I reckon that's where it's come from then.
Okay, Wild Thing, I'm going with you. Are you a coffee guy? What do you order?
I like the smell of coffee, but I can't stand the taste of it. So no coffees for me.
How do you get up and about in the morning? You wake up and you just bounce. You're
No,
just like this.
Nah, caffeine. I do pre-workouts.
Yeah.
I got my AIM or HASTA certified pre-workout that I like to have. Yeah.
So that gets you sparked up. You don't need caffeine.
Well, it is. It
is caffeine, but not a coffee. Sponsors, we know that you're sitting there in a beautiful Nike tracksuit, so congratulations there.
And shout out to Koros and Shoe Socks as well, who look after me as well.
Oh, fantastic.
And also, if you've got time,
please.
There is a story that I'd like to tell.
Yeah.
So I think, as you know, one of the challenges in athletics is that, it's not a sport that necessarily pays well, so hence why, I've got to work. And there's a very lovely couple that live down the road from me, and they know me from when I was very little, running around in my Hawthorn jumper, kicking the footy and training at the local park. And, we sort of went our own ways, and my grandmother, she calls bingo. And one day my neighbour was at bingo, and my grandmother was I said, you know, I just won the Australian Championship in cross country, and
Awesome.
and my neighbour goes, I wonder if that was Seth, and went up, and you know, the big coincidence that it happened to be me and whatnot, and so they sort of connected back in, and I've been very fortunate to have them as some financial supporters of me.
Oh, fantastic.
And you know, just purely out of the passion and love of seeing someone like myself put in the work and get from A to B. They take a lot of pride in that, and I'm very lucky to have them on board helping me out here and there. So I just thought I'd
Yeah, that is. Give him a name. What's that name?
Dyer and Steve.
That is fantastic, Dyer and Steve. You're legends for that.
Yeah.
And don't forget me if you want any spare cash. What's your pre-competition meal? What do you eat?
Yeah, well, it's nothing. It's nothing different really.
Yeah.
I don't think about it too much. Just what I usually have. My favourite food is peanut butter and toast. So
Peanut butter and toast.
Yeah.
That's not your favourite meal of all time. Like your number one meal. You're not going to a restaurant and ordering that.
Nah, but I could. If I had a day to eat whatever I wanted, I would just have peanut butter and toast all day. I love it.
You're a unique cat. There's no doubt in that.
It's just, I don't know.
One of the questions is, if you weren't a track and field athlete, what would you be? I gather it's a footballer or a musician.
Yes. Yeah. Gee, it's a tough one. If I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my hard rock. I'd actually probably say I'd prefer to be a drummer in a